play some ad nauseam here. Gonna do a competitive league tonight. I've been doing really well with ad nauseam. So deck list, not especially different than usual. So still 4 Angel's Grace, 4 Phyrexian Unlife, 4 ad nauseam, and Lightning Storm, Lab Man as my combo pieces. 3 Pact Negations, 4th one in the sideboard. That will probably never change for me. 8 of the best cantrips in Modern, Sleight of Hand, Serum Visions. This is a change. So I took 1 Spoils of the Vault out for a Mystical Teachings. I like Teachings in several matches. Any match that's going to go long, this is good. The control matchup, this is insane good. It actually let me cut down on things I keep in the sideboard for control because this card can just beat them on their own. You know, you counter it, it has flashback. You don't counter it, it's any combo piece or it's packed. So it's great. A lot of times I'll play this on the end step. They either let it resolve and I get it packed, which kills one of their counters, or they counter it, and then on my main phase, they've already wasted a counter, they've used their mana, so it's a great card. 4 Simian Spirit Guides to make the win cons work. 4 Lotus Blooms. 4 Pen Ed Prisms, because we are playing ad nauseam here. And my mana base has been the same for a very long time. So I have 4 Seacrum Coasts, 3 Darkslick Shores, 4 Gemstone Mines, 2 Plains. I've got 5 Temples, 3 Deceit, 2 Enlightenment, Dreadship Reef, and Nephelia Academy are like my weird ones. But Nephelia Academy does work against a lot of decks in the format right now. To the sideboard, a few different things. All right, so 4 Ley Lines, Echoing Truth Pact. That has been part of my ad nauseam sideboard for the entirety of me ever playing the deck, and this is years at this point. These 6 cards. Probably will never take them out. So, pair of Thoughtseizes. Thoughtseizes are good against other combo decks. We're naturally good against other combo decks like Titan Shift. Titan Shift is very popular right now on Moto. Just for lack of better things to bring in, I do bring Thoughtseizes, take their good stuff. Silence, good against the control matchup, useful against any other decks that play suspended things, Living End, some of the ones that play Ancestral Visions. All around decent cards. Sometimes you can just play it against Tron. They're going to turn 3 Tron, so on their upkeep you just silence them. You let them establish Tron, but then they can't cast anything, and then you try and win the next turn. So useful card. My Kill Stuff package, pair of Fatal Pushes, pair of Bantu's Last Reckoning. Bantu is new. I won against Affinity earlier because of this card. Basically, the downside of this card, because ad nauseam has played things like Damnation or Supreme Verdict, those cards. Bantu happens a turn earlier. And the huge downside, your lands don't untap the next turn. But the thing is, against the decks where Bantu's Last Reckoning is good, this downside doesn't matter. So you're playing against Merfolk, you're playing against Affinity, whatever. You wipe their board. Sure, they may establish their board the next turn, but they can't attack you. Everything, the only time this is bad is against a deck that can dump a lot of hasty creatures out, which is not many decks in Modern. So, like I said, against Elves, Affinity, Goblins, any of these decks, you play Bantu, and then they can spend their next turn trying to reestablish a board, but then you're going to untap. So, not a bad card. I definitely think it's worth it. I just don't, the downside isn't so much of a downside for us. And sometimes it doesn't even matter. If you have enough artifact mana, you can still go off anyway. So decent card to test. I'm not sold on it yet, and then 2 Graph Digger's Cages. Graph Digger's Cage is good against company decks, the Counters Company deck especially. Very good against Storm, very good against Dredge. Worthless against Living End. Don't ever forget that. does not work against Living End. If you want to know why, read Living End closely, then read Grafdigger's Cage closely, and then you'll see why it's really worthless card against Living End. So that is the deck. I played a competitive Modern League earlier today. Didn't stream it because I couldn't play it all at once. And so I lost to Grixis Shadow. And then I don't remember the order, but I beat Affinity, Ad Nauseam Mirror. I think this is actually the order. Or no, it was Jeskai, Ad Nauseam Mirror, Affinity, and Blue White. And this guy, whoever this Benny Hills is, he's got more undefeated trophies than anybody. But Blue White is a bad matchup against Ad Nauseam. We definitely have the advantage there. So, without further ado, let us join the league. And fire it up. This is where I track things. So I played 20 friendly leagues with Ad Nauseam. My record was 65-36, pretty good, definitely profitable. That was 2 5-0s, 6 4-1s, 6 3-2s, and then 6 2-3s. And I never went 1-4-0-5. So because you get half your play points back for these 2-3s, this is actually pretty profitable. I think I made a little over 80 ticks, and that was selling the chest. So far in competitive leagues, I've played 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm 31-14. Oh, 9. I'm sorry. I counted it as an 0-5 because I just dropped after I lost the third one because you can't cash. So it's hard to kind of track. But I have had of cashes. I've had a 5-0, 4 4-1s, including today's, and 3 3-2s. And then 1, I'm not exactly sure what my record was. It might have actually been a 1-4. Maybe I did play it out. I don't remember, but it was a non-cash. So anyways, let's get started. This is keepable. If he has turn 1 discard, he either gets our Serum Visions or our redundant half of the combo. Flooded Strand into, hopefully this is just Blue White or Jeskai. And so far it looks like it is. Bottom top. And perfect. So scry. We'll need a Pact of Negation. We'll definitely take another Serum Visions. Suspend Lotus Bloom. Pass the turn. This hand is decent even if our Lotus Bloom gets countered, which they don't often do. Ghost Quarter, don't really care about that at all. Spreading Seas. I mean, it's not absolutely useless against us, but it's bad. I get that, you know, it's pretty good in the format. So, I think we have enough lands that we don't want anymore because we picked up a land off that Serum Vision. So we'll go bottom, bottom. How bad do we want to Serum Visions again this turn? We do. We definitely do. Yuck. We'll go bottom, bottom again. All right, I was hoping to find better things. Second Lotus Bloom is actually not the worst because we can just run one out next turn right into a counter and not care. Even if both of them get countered, then our opponent has wasted a lot of resources and we still have a combo piece. But now the name of the game is finding Ad Nauseam. Could be a Geist here. That's probably our, well, our opponent is on the Mono Spreading Seas plan, which once again, not great against us. I guess having 6 cards in hand is pretty good against us, though. Let's see here. Geez. Well, it's safe to say that we are probably going to, at some point, resolve a Phyrexian Unlife. We'll probably resolve this one. Yeah. All right, well, we can make lots of black mana with this Dreadship Reef, but again, none of this means anything without our ad nauseam. We must find an ad nauseam. Will we get hit with the third Spreading Sea? He is ghost quartering his own land. Okay. To get into the trials. Ugh. All right, decks are starting to play this main deck. Now this is a problem. So once he emblems, we have to now have enough mana to both kill Gideon with Lightning Storm and then win the game with Lab Man. Pain in the butt. Gideon does nothing after sideboard because we just board in Echoing Truth and we Echoing Truth is Gideon. But we don't have that main deck. So, oh my god. The fourth Phyrexian Unlife was not what we wanted to see. So, fortunately, we already have access to 7 mana. We're going to just start loading this Reef because he had to use his Ghost Quarter on his own land. So that's helpful for us. Gideon is a clock, but I feel somewhat comfortable if we find an ad nauseam. We are also going to need a Pact and Negation. So we need to find those 2 cards. We have a lot of turns. We have Angel's Grace still. Our opponent feels fine tapping out. Maybe he thinks his Gideon just makes it so he can't lose, which is not actually the case. Excellent card. So Mystical Teachings finds us our ad nauseam, and then we flash it back for a Pact. We can't put a counter on Reef this turn, unfortunately. He might just tap out, and then we might have actually won. Well, that's annoying. But I don't really think it makes a difference. We're fine with that. All right. We're going to try and go off on his end step next turn. Maybe. We'll tap all of our islands. All right, this should resolve. I doubt he plays Dispel main deck. We're actually going to count on the fact that he probably doesn't play Dispel main deck. So we take ad nauseam, combo assembled. Garbage. What? What are you doing, opponent? You are pathing your own wall. Okay. We do not care. Do we have enough mana now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need 5 for ad nauseam. And then Simian Spirit Cut, yes. And Gideon's only at 3. Yeah, I think we just win now. Yeah. I don't think it matters how I tap it, but I'm going to tap it this way. Obviously, that's going to resolve. Draw the deck. I do wish there was a faster way to do this. And lately, Moto's been like laggier and laggier. Like it takes me way too long to draw the deck. A lot of times the opponent just concedes in the interest of saving themselves time. This opponent will not because he wants to see how I plan on winning. We will show him. I don't know. This deck is not popular enough to warrant a main deck Echoing Truth. A main deck Echoing Truth is not a bad card. I don't know what I'd take out. Echoing Truth, there's always something you can bounce, but in certain matchups, it's just not great. So I really don't want to play one main deck unless I have to. Exile the Spirit Guides. Gideon, you got to make sure, if you go off on your opponent's turn, you got to make sure Gideon's not indestructible when you go to Lightning Storm him. So we'll Lightning Storm our opponent for 3. Yes, we will redirect to Gideon. Gideon down. Now we will play land for turn. We don't even technically need to play that land, but whatever. We have plenty of islands since our opponent mono spreading seed us. Where's the lab man? He must be chilling at the bottom of the deck. There he is. And Serum Visions. We still have a Serum Visions, right? Yeah, we only cast a couple. All right, we beat the main deck Gideon. I actually think our odds get better against this build sideboard, which is kind of funny. So we'll go Echoing Truth for sure. Pact for sure. Silence. Maybe 2 Thoughtseizes. We do it this way. I don't mind ditching 1 land. I usually ditch Academy when it's not relevant. Maybe a pair of Pentads, 1 Spoils of the Vault, and then a Cantrip. And that lets us keep this nice control package. Longer matchups, I ditch the sleight of hand. If it's going to be aggressive deck where you have to get rid of a Cantrip, I go with the Serum Visions. But this is, we'll be in it for the long haul. Yeah, looks okay. This isn't the best hand. It could draw really well. I'm going to keep it. This is not, I'm not feeling great about this keep. It really is just going to depend on how we draw, but not a super good hand. You could very, very much argue that that should have been top. Hate to see that. Hate to see that. Lotus Bloom? No. Pact is good. We need it, but we also need lands and or artifact mana. And this Thoughtseize does us no good without a black source. I bet he kept Spreading Seas in too for no other reason than I don't know how many cards. He probably boards out a lot of removal, probably 4 paths. All right, if we don't draw a land this turn, we probably just lose. Yeah, Geist is fine. It's quick clock, but if we can drop our unlife, we're fine. Land? Thank you. All right, that was lucky. All right, now we're, in my opinion, a couple lands away from winning. Best draw is probably Pented Prism. I mean, yeah, again, fast clock, but what can we do? Thoughtseize is great because it lets us see if our opponent can double counter. Usually once we resolve our Thoughtseize, they can't because we take something, or they have to counter the Thoughtseize or whatever. So he's representing Cryptic Mana now. Wait, was there? Yeah, there's our friend Gideon. Oof, which means we need more mana. It's not the most relevant thing. We were getting very lucky drawing all these lands. Very lucky. And that's what we wanted. What do we do here? Well, we're going to wait 1 more turn. Ideally, I want 6 lands to deal with Gideon. Oh, this is a fast clock, though. So He's dealing 10 damage, so we'll be down to 4. Yikes. All right. That's fine. All right, so we try and go off now. There's a lot of problems. We want to go off next turn, so we're going to play the gemstone mine. I'm going to thought seize our opponent, see what he's working with. He might try and just counter the thought seize, and if he does that, he does that. All right, thought seize negated. That's a negate he can't cast on ad nauseam. So we'll go to a negative life total on his turn. Ooh. Oh. No, we don't care about that. He's pumping his Gideon to 4 because he thinks that we're going to try and do the same thing we did last time, which would still work. We could just Lightning Storm and pitch a land, but we're not. We're just going to bounce his Gideon. All right, go to negative life. We still lose if our opponent has double counter spells. So. Because he tens us. Too bad we can't play Silence. Playing Silence would be great. We would have drawn like a Spirit Guide or something, but yeah, we may very well just be beat here. Because he could, he's like Dispel, Snap, Dispel. The Cryptics were good, probably. He could still Cryptic Dispel. That doesn't matter, we don't have a choice, so. Ad nauseam. Yeah, probably dead. Yep, he got us. Spell Queller the Pact. Bleh. Too bad. Yep. All right, go to game 3. It was just a little quick for us. I'm not going to change anything. We were like a Lotus Bloom or Pentad away from just being good there. I really don't want to lose to blue-white. It's my record against blue-white. Quite good. 6-1. Let's not lose. Ugh. It's got some good stuff and some lands. Labman's about worthless. Thoughtseize is good with no combo pieces. This is better. He had to mulligan too, and that helps us. Lotus Bloom on top, Sleight of Hand on top. Yeah, we'll keep Sleight of Hand on top, and so we'll lead with Dark Slick Shores, Serum Visions. He bottomed. So we'll get our Sleight of Hand. Thoughtseize is good. Maybe let's draw Thoughtseize, not that land. If that was a white source, we would have drawn it. Now we'll Sleight of Hand Scry, probably. Yeah, we'll take. Yeah, we gotta take the white source. The Spirit Guide is cool because it catches them off guard, but we need to be able to play our unlife. Yeah, we'll take the land. Hopefully he taps out for like wall or something here, and we just run out unlife. Nope. All right, so for that reason, we'll scry then instead. Maybe he'll run out of Geist next turn. Guess we'll bottom that. I may regret that later. We've got our 5 land. We're really hoping he just slams Geist to St. Traft here. Slam the Geist. No Geist. We are not just going to run out on life unless we draw an unlife or an Angel's Grace. Slide a hand. Maybe he'll counter this. Right. We'll take the Reef and just get that plan going. Now I kind of wish I had the Angel's Grace. Really just hoping he slams something here. Geist. Tech Edge. I don't think he's going to Tech Edge us yet. He might once we pump this thing up. So we're definitely playing the old draw go. Yeah, now I wish I would have had that Angel's Grace. He is going to Tech Edge us. Okay. We're fine with that. We just need an opening for this unlife, which our opponent does not want to give us. But that's fine because we'll draw into things like packs and Angel's Graces and so on and so forth. Hitting land drops is okay, but we're ready to hit action. And our opponent is just doing nothing, which that's eventually going to favor us, I think. Not if we keep drawing garbage, though. At least it scries. We want another Ad Nauseam? Yes. So here's what we'll do. On his end step, we might just cast a naked Ad Nauseam to make him counter it. And then we'll Thoughtseize him. Ooh. Okay, opponent has negate, cryptic. Ugh, this is awful for us. Negate hits on life, Queller hits on life, cryptic hits everything. I think we take Queller. Queller doesn't know. We take negate. Play the land. Just knowing his hand is helpful too. He may at some point try and run out the spell Queller just to get a clock down. I'm guessing he's gonna Jace at some point. All right. So that was his draw, so we still know his exact 5. That helps. Really wish we had the Angel's Grace, because then we know exactly when it's safe to go off. So what's he going to do here? Geist, leaving up Spellqualler. But then Angel's Grace beats him because he can't cryptic. That's fine. We don't care about that. But that keeps us in the same spot of not being able to do anything. That's a good draw. So he has one unknown. So we can cast Unlife ad nauseam. I think we run out the Unlife. And as long as he didn't draw like another negate, I think we win. He's either going to let this resolve. I think we're okay here. Ideally, he cryptics, and then we just win-win. Or he might spell Queller. That's fine. Pact the Queller. Now, as long as he Dispel, if his one draw was Dispel, we lose. If it was anything, okay, I think we win. I think he F6'd. Only Dispel beats us. No Dispel. All right. 1-0. Yeah, I mean, I think it was definitely right to go off there. His one exact draw was Dispel. There was no other way we're losing there. And to just play the game any longer, once he got more mana, he definitely had an advantage. MVP of the game, Thoughtseize. More so because we knew the other four, or the other three of his four cards. So we knew it was safe to, probably safe to go off there. And to take the lines we did by pacting to get our Unlife down and all that. So, yeah, big fan of the old Thoughtseize. This was a longer match. My clock usually does not get into the single digits. And even if his one draw was a land, we still have more than enough lands to beat him. I hate when they prolong this. I'm not even a big fan. Like, I get if he maybe had like 4 lands in his deck and he was going to try and pitch back and forth, that's reasonable. I mean, he knows exactly how many lands I have. They were all revealed. And we know he could at most have 1. So when you're doing that, you're just playing for me to make a mistake that you could never make on paper. See, yeah, he's just hoping that I like fumble around and don't know what to do here, which is fine. It's a competitive league. You can be as competitive as you like. I don't do that. If I'm beat on paper, I tend to concede. All right. Load up another and update the old list. 7 and 1. I should make like a spreadsheet in Excel that is much better than this. Maybe I will at some point, but notable matchups. Now the win-loss record is the friendly leagues and the competitive leagues together. So 2-2 against Abzan, 1-0 against Abzan Shadow. You don't see Abzan Shadow that much. 3-2 against Affinity. Affinity Dumb is just this dumb version of Affinity that I lost to, and I called it dumb because I was pissed that I lost. It would be much worse than Affinity against most decks, but just happened to be better against Ad Nauseam. Allies 1-0. Amulet Titan's an interesting match. I feel like they either beat themselves or they don't. And they just, ever since Summer Bloom got banned, they beat themselves a lot more often than they used to. We have to keep this. If our opponent is on like a Death Shadow list or something, we're probably pretty wrecked. But against that deck, we're probably pretty wrecked anyways. So I feel like there's a good chance we just might be wrecked. We're 1-0 and this player's 0-0. So further along you get, I feel like the more likely they're on Grixis Death Shadow, the more wins you have. This Scalding Tarn into Island into Serum Visions or Sleight of Hand? Serum Visions. Okay, so we don't know. If it was into Sleight of Hand, I'd bet most of my money that we were against Storm. Against Serum Visions, this could be a number of decks. Storm, Jeskai, Control, could even be Blue-White Control, and they just have a Tarn as one of like the extra fetches. I don't know, we'll see. Against blue decks, Pact is always good. We have no turn 1 play, so we'll obviously just do the old scry here. Hope they're not Grixis Death Shadow and they just tricked us by playing an island. I'm just banking that they're blue-white or red-white. Ooh, mono. They might be mono-blue. Might be taking turns or something like that. Well, you want to counter it, counter it. Don't care. Plenty of lands. And I have a Pact. So if they use a counter here, I'll feel very good once we... Yeah, didn't think they would. We see another blue card, just my island, then we're probably against the Taking Turns deck. Gemstone Cavern. I think this is the Taking Turns deck. One of the problems this deck has is that it plays a bunch of cards that let both players draw, and that's really, really good for us. I feel like a lot better for us than it is for them. And they just like have to tap out. Like right now, if we had Angel's Grace and they tap out like right now to play something, we just win. Because we have like this Simian Spirit Guide to surprise them. Snow-covered island. I mean, the fortunate thing against this deck is they have to play cards. Like at some point they have to tap lots of mana. All right. And might even be right to value Ad Nauseam. Ink Moth Nexus. Is that their win con? Be my guess. All the lands. I mean, we'll keep playing them. We'll actually hit a point where we have enough lands to Naked Ad Nauseam, and then if we draw into it, Angel's Grace Ad Nauseam. I mean, we'll draw go. Ooh, that's good. All right, let me run this out. 11. So we actually have enough to do that line. And with double Pact negation, the problem is at 20 life, we're not, yeah, they're the Taking Turns deck. Sure, have your dictate. we can definitely stop them from going off because we have double packed. So if he starts taking turn spells right now, we'll just it's packed. And we get to draw 2 cards. Us drawing 2 is awesome because we literally just need an Angel's Grace. Is our opponent going to try and take an extra turn? Nope. We get 2 cards. We don't want it. There it is. Well, double packed, I mean, he'd need triple counterspell. We're not into discarding yet, so let's just see if he taps anything. If he does anything, we'll go for it. Because now he's going to be into discarding, so he's either going to start discarding or he's going to do something. Obviously, he's probably going to make all his land drops. Black. I don't know if they play like Thought Seizes. I doubt. You would have fetched for black, I think, if that was the case. He has 7 lands, so if he had enough counter, I don't know that he naturally, even with 8 cards, has enough counter spells. I just want him to play an expensive taking turn spell, and then we'll just win. Yeah. No. Yeah. Be playing for 3. Well, we'll definitely Giga Drouse. Yeah, now we just win because at most he only has 2 blue sources, so he can only have 2 counter spells. So, donk, black, black, 1, 2, 3. Angel's Grace. I don't know, what do you... A lot of times they try and respond to this, which they can't. This is, I think, another decent matchup for us here. Ad nauseam. Now, if he has 2 counter spells, I will feel bad for him that we are about to double pack him. He probably, now he had no counter spells. All right, then. I just wish there was a way to put the whole deck in my hand. I wish you could, Moto could just ask you, how many cards do you want to draw? Like, repeat X30. Because there are instances you want to keep 1 card in your deck. But sideboarding, we're going to sideboard just like we did for the last match. Silence, 2 Thoughtseize. And you know, I don't know if we bring in the Echoing Truth for this match. I almost always bring in Echoing Truth, but this like might be the match we don't want it. Because if he's mono blue, he's not mono blue, he's got that black land. I don't know what that's for. All right. Hopefully he doesn't have just a ridiculous amount of lands. Because we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6. So if our opponent indeed has 7 lands, all 7 cards are lands. Commandeer? Opponent, you should have tried to commandeer my ad nauseam. What are you doing? Yeah, he definitely should have tried to commandeer ad nauseam. It wouldn't have made a difference, but don't try and counter things after the fact. Actually, commandeer doesn't even do anything, so he can choose a new target, and then we just pitch another land. What did he exile anyways? More Gigadrouses. Okay. Sure, Snapcaster Mage. You got it. You gonna commandeer again? We should just let it resolve and then wreck his world. No, we want him to think commandeer works in case he tries to do it in games 2 or 3. And then he activated Lightning Storm. Okay. He's going to change the target to us. But we have all these activations to change it back to him. I don't know what our opponent's doing. I don't think any of this is going to work the way they think it will. But that's fine. All right, so he changed the target to us. Right? Yep. And then he's got Snapcaster's Commandeer. Sure. Maybe he's just trying to create confusion. Oh, he changed the target to Snapcaster Mage. That's fine. It doesn't matter. Because we're just changing it back. Was that his plan? To play a Snapcaster so he could target the Snapcaster? He could have just targeted us. No, okay, he actually is going to Commandeer again. Which is fine. Like I said, let's let him think Commandeer works. No, he did not Commandeer. Alright, so we click OK. Yes. And we target our opponent. Alright, now things are back where they ought to be. Oh, the stacks we make in ad nauseum. Now, I don't know, is he going to try and commandeer right at the end here? I'm not exactly sure what our opponent's did. No, and we have 21 points of damage targeting our opponent. Go for it. Boom. Okay. Yeah, Thoughtseize, very good here. Grafdigger's Cage isn't even terrible. I'm fine just doing this though. We'll peel one on life because they have like no creatures until they basically are already beating you. So we'll go one unlife, one pentad, one academy, one spoils of the vault. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if I've played mono blue turns. Black aggro. Nope. Unless I just called it turns. Nope. We'll call it blue turns. Not a good hand, but it's got the fast mana, half the combo, 2 scries, so we'll keep it. I would like discard, either discard or pact the negations. Yeah, that's a little too far. Sizing, I hate sizing my Moto window. It would be nice if Moto just remembered your size and didn't just resize itself when you reopen it. All right, what do we draw into? Not anything of relevance. That bottom. Whether we scry or slam a penhead will depend on what we draw. If we draw a cantrip, we'll probably play the temple. Any combo piece or something will. Seacrum Coast. Maybe beta counterspell, make him think that this is vital when this first one is actually meaningless. Yep, that's what we wanted. Unless it's Spell Snare. Spell Snare, this is literally the only card in our deck that hits, so. Oh, no, he's just letting it. He was just fetching per turn. All right. I mean, I don't mind having the mana ready. It helps if he does something silly like taps out. I wonder if he's got like Thoughtseize. That Water Grave makes me nervous. That is the worst draw. So, turn out another. Now you're going to counter it? Oh, Dictate, sure. Bottom. I mean, he gets his double draw first, but then we get one. We're almost to the point where Gigadrouse doesn't even matter because you can't Gigadrouse our Pendant Prisms. You actually can Gigadrouse a Lotus Bloom, though, because you have to tap the Lotus Bloom to activate it. I don't feel great without Pact of Negations in this matchup, though. We definitely want Pact of Negations. Drawing 2 cards, I do feel good about. Not when we draw junk, though. That's pretty bad. We could be in trouble here. If he plays an extra turn spell here, we probably lose. If he gives us one more turn, we stand a chance. He shouldn't, because we could just add Nauseam in response. It would be a poor play on his part, but he might. So I always hate losing because our opponent did the wrong thing. Drawing 3 cards feels great. Okay, Sleight of Hand. We need that. Serum Visions. And ad nauseam? No. Ugh. What do we do here? Well, we start off with Sleight of Hand. We want neither of these. We'll take the Angel's Grace. I guess we temple. Bottom. Yuck. And we're still representing combo. Wow. I don't want to play this because I want to represent the combo. And we'll discard an Angel's Grace because 3 is too many. Fortunately, he can only play 1 land per turn, so maybe he'll think he still doesn't have enough because his taking turn spells, he probably has to tap out, but he has so many cards now. What is going to happen here? I'm not sure how we're doing. If he just tries to go for it, we lose. So in that respect, we're doing horrible. Serum Visions we're fine with. I mean, 5 mana, be very risky for him to go off. We need to draw like ad nauseam Pact Thoughtseize. That would be That'd be wonderful. He top bottoms. But yeah, as soon as he time warps, I think he's waiting. What's the one? Temporal Mastery. If he hits that with Miracle, then he just beats us. Again, he could just go for it. I think that's a terrible play. You know, he could play Time Warp right now, and if he does, we just lose. But no, he may Giga Drouse us on our upkeep. That would be a pretty good play for him. What did he discard? Snapback. I guess that's supposed to be against Labman? Seems not good. Impart the Water Veil. And I really thought we would get Giga Droused. Thoughtseize is good. Another Angel's Grace is not. Yeah, we'll go ahead and play the Unlife. It doesn't do anything. Except maybe draw a counter. But if he set himself up for a Miracle next turn, because he did scry one to the top, we probably lose. In our defense, we drew like garbage. Are we countering this? Yeah. I wonder if our opponent knows how worthless bouncing that was. I mean, I think he wasted a Cryptic Command there, personally. Because we're just going to let him bounce that, and then we're just going to replay it. All right. We'll go ahead and play another land. It matters what. Do we Thoughtseize here? If we Thoughtseize and like he only has one counter and we take it from him, then we put him into desperation mode and he'll just try and beat us, which we don't want. So we're actually going to pass the turn without seizing. He might just try and beat us anyways. We'll discard another Angel's Grace. We have seen all four of them. Because even if we Thoughtseize him there, I don't think, like I said, at worst case, it pressures him into going off. He didn't Miracle us. But now he can cast an extra turn spell with a counter spell backup. Again, that would make him one pact away from, yeah, I think he's going to try. Ugh. Terrible, 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 terrible. He gets it. That's too bad. Probably going to win now. There are very few ways we win at this point. I mean, he can technically fizzle. I don't think he can fizzle drawing 3 cards when he already had 9 cards when this began. I don't think Thoughtseizing would have made a difference. I just think we were beat. Yeah, Drinkard Moto, I think Ad Nauseam is in a sweet spot. Most people are like doom and gloom because it's such a bad matchup against Death Shadow. But if you look at the top of the meta, that's the only bad matchup. Like, we're very good against many other decks. Like, let me, where's Goldfish? Our opponent's doing things. He can Giga Drouse these. That doesn't do anything. We can still tap them for mana. I don't know if he knows that. So affinity, I call it a 55-45 our favor, personally. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to like do two things at once. Yeah, Gigadrosing our land does things, but not our Pennant Prisms. That does nothing. What's he doing now? Did he already cast an extra turn spell? Wait a minute. Are we getting another turn? Our opponent goof. Our opponent goofed big time. Unless, wait, or does he already have an extra turn and I'm not paying enough attention to what's going on? How did he draw all those cards? Or does he have another turn? That's ridiculous. Can we, okay, Pact is great. All we need is Ad Nauseam now. Nope. Nope. This is literally the worst. Ample. There it is. No way to get to it. Now we Thoughtseize him, I guess. Oh God. Why did he not try and do any of the things? He's got Dispel. He's got Cryptic. He's got Snap. I'm not sure what our opponent's doing. He's got 2 Time Warps. What do we take here? Exhaustion doesn't matter. Dispel. Do we just take the most mana efficient answer to what we're doing? Yeah, I guess so. And then I think we're going to have to pact his extra turn spell. Oh, we need to discard. 5, 6, 7. There's no lands in hand. He's at 17. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I don't really want to get rid of any more lands. Well, I guess we just win with Lab Man. That's really doesn't make a difference. Yeah. All right, opponent in your 3 cards. Yeah, Valakut and blue-white control, and we just rage on those all day. Yeah. So, like I said, affinity 55-45. I tend to beat it a little bit more than I lose to it. Grixis Death Shadow, bad matchup. Not unwinnable, bad. Titan Shift, awesome matchup. What's my record against Titan Shift? 9-3. So great matchup. All right, what's our opponent doing? Serum Visions. So that was one of his draws. Eldrazi Tron, decent matchup. 60-40 us, I would say. Chalice of the Void on 1 main deck is a little sketch, but Burn is another excellent matchup. What's my burn record? Burn 8-2. Our opponent just going to let us go? All right. Now we need to draw Ad Nauseam, Pact. We know we're drawing Ad Nauseam, so that's something. He discarded his Dispel. Or no, we discarded his Dispel. What am I thinking? All right, we know we're getting that. Even a second Ad Nauseam is good. There it is. All right, so we have 1 Pact. We know our opponent has Cryptic and Snap Dispel. But he also drew several more cards. We might even have to win on our turn as well, because we've used so many lands. How many lands have we used? None of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 lands. Whoop. Oh yeah, you're right. He doesn't. Yeah, let's just win now. I think we can win now because Angel's Grace. Yeah, he did. Yeah, Drinker, you're absolutely right. I think this is over. I think our opponent blew it real bad. I really think like when they passed it to us after they took their first extra turn, I'm not really sure what they were thinking. Yeah, because we can cast a second ad nauseam, so he'll do something to this one. Hey Mayday. Actually, I took Swan Song out. I did not like it as much. A lot of things I want to counter these days don't always get hit by Swan Song. We'll pack this. And then if he has another counter, we just play another ad nauseam. Typical sideboard for Living End, I put in Silence because when he goes to, wait, is this just happening? Yep, concession. All right. That was just 2 games. Those were long. We've been playing some long games. So, mono blue turns 2-0. Or no, 1-0. And we got it in 2 games. Okay. Yeah, I would love to stream more if I had more time. I play a lot, but I just can never stream all of it at one time. But yeah, against Living End, I bring in Silence because once his, he plays his Cascade spell, and then you cast Silence. So then he can't cast the Living End. That's the best way, I think, to get them. Where's my deck? That's your best spell. That's maybe the Thoughtseize is to just take their either take their hate cards or take their Cascaders. And I keep more packs in than I usually would against a deck that doesn't play counter spells. It's a favorable matchup though. Yeah, ad nauseam is in a great spot. Like if you some of the like ad nauseam groups that I post in are like, oh, it's such a bad spot right now, and I disagree. I think we're in a fine spot. We lose to the best deck in the format, but we're favorable against. I mean, maybe right now it's saying Affinity is the best deck in the format, but of course, because Wizards only lets us have 5 decks a day, the whole metagame is getting screwed up. But anyways, yeah, slightly good matchup, bad matchup, very good matchup, slightly good matchup, very good matchup, very good matchup, decent matchup, good matchup, not so good, great. Bant Eldrazi. I haven't played Bant Eldrazi in a very long time. Death and Taxes, not a good matchup. But like, let's look at the Modern Challenge. Number 1 deck, we have an awesome matchup against it. Number 2 deck, we have an awesome matchup against it. Lantern's a weird. It's Leyline or bust pretty much. And game 1 is not great. I would rather not play Lantern. Burn, great matchup. Blue, white, green. What's the Bant deck? Mausoleum Wanderers. This is probably not a great matchup, actually. This Bant Spirits. Probably not great. No actual counters in the main helps. Worship, Eidolon or Rhetoric is bad for us. It's not terrible. It's not terrible, but these Mausoleum Wanderers are a pain in the butt, especially once they've got Drug-Skull Captains down. Our opponent didn't want to play. Yeah, I am perfectly happy with where we're at in the metagame. Yeah, I do like Graph better than Relic. I was playing Relic before. Relic is nice because it does cycle when it's not doing anything else, and it also works against Living End, but Grafdigger's Cage just does work on company decks, which Relic doesn't at all. Why, Moto? Why do you resize the window every time? Moto is such a bad piece of software for such a good game. All right, let's play. Well, we'll keep this against a blind opponent. Keep. Now this is interesting. So if we sleight of hand into good stuff, and then they're a Thoughtseize deck, they take our good stuff. Actually, all right, because we have so much filtering, I'm doing it. Dropping the Academy first. Like, I didn't want to sleight of hand in Ad Nauseam and then they go, Thoughtseize, take your Ad Nauseam. Now, at best, Thoughtseize, they take a sleight of hand, which we then put on the top of our deck. So we're just playing the odds that they're a Thoughtseize deck. They're not. Against Affinity, we would have much rather played our sleight of hand. That's fine. I don't think it's going to be the difference in whether or not we win. That was a pretty good Affinity hand. The Inkmoth Nexus is the worst part because that's what, well, I have a feeling we'll be ready to go off on turn 4. Do we make it to turn 4? That's the question. We'll just take this Seacrum Coast and we'll pass the turn. Memnite, Inkmoth. Put a counter on everything. Oh, not plating. Not plating. Ravager, that's even worse. All right, probably just going to lose to his Infect creature, and that just is what it is. He's just got the hand that does that. Yeah, we're going to lose next turn. That's too bad. If he plays it right, I had an opponent, the last opponent I played it very wrong when he could have killed me. You got to take the sleight of hand. How did we cast 4 sleight of hands and not find it, or 3 sleight of hands and not find anything worth having? This is unfortunate because I'm pretty sure, unless our opponent screws up, that we're dead. He'll just sack his entire board to Ravager and sack Ravager to Nexus. Yeah, oh yeah, we're super dead if he wants us to be. Which is like any other deck in the format, they can't do this to because they, you know, one fatal push and oops, that plan didn't work. Maybe he won't do it. If he just swings for the fences here, we get another turn. Nope. Too bad. He doesn't even have to sack his whole board. He actually doesn't have to sack anything else. Yep, our ordering of the lands made no difference. There was... I often say decks that don't play Thoughtseize effects better be able to kill us before turn 4. And when an Affinity turn 3s us, there's nothing we can do. So, too bad. I'll take 2 Fatal Pushes and 2 Bantus. Mystical is too slow. Ditch a Pact. Ditch a Pact. 1 of our lands. Let's keep that because we want to be as fast as possible. Affinity's so weird because they board in, like, you never know. Are they going to be the Affinity deck that puts in 2 counterspells? Or are they going to be the Affinity deck that puts in 2 Thoughtseizes? Or the Affinity deck that puts in Blood Moon? Because all 3 of those things change like what you want to board out. Like against Blood Moon, you need to keep all your artifact mana. But against counterspells, you need to keep your Pact Negations. And against Thoughtseizes, you want to keep your Nephilia Academy. They don't board in enough Thoughtseize effects to warrant ley lines, not even close. So really it's either 1 Academy or 1 Pennant Prism. We'll go down the Academy because the odds of having Academy in our opening hand again are, you know, they're not super high. I'd rather have the fast mana. We just want to beat them before they beat us. Having 1 Fatal Push would be nice because, like, it wouldn't have helped us last game because they had So just a ridiculous board. But if they try and do that, if they try and just sack everything, and then they have an empty board, and then you kill their Nexus, then you're in good shape. Ugh. This is like the worst possible hand that you can still keep. I feel awful about this now. Let's just hope he doesn't have a hand like he just had. Yeah, we top that. Pass turn, so we get to double Serum Visions next turn, probably. Need a white source. Next, Ink Moth again, so really hoping to find a Fatal Push. Not nearly as explosive. Serum Visions, there's a Fatal Push. What do we do here? Close on life. We want the Prism if we go top? No, because we want to land too. So we're going to bottom the Serum Visions, top the Pented Prism, play the Shores, and then we want to Serum Visions into a land, which we didn't. Bottom, do we want 2 Pented Prisms? No, we really just want 1 land. Let's see how our opponent does this. Steel Overseer. The fact that they have 2 Ink Moths makes it even worse for us now, because we only have 1 Fatal Push. Land? That is so slow. I don't think they're going to kill us this turn, so I don't think we'll have to use the Fatal Push off of our Pented mana. I don't know, though. Let's see what they do. Yep. Counter. All right, this is going to be how it goes. Bantu A. That comes down in 2. So if we just Bantu, and then Fatal Push, I don't know if this is going to work. I mean, that was a thing. He still has these Ink Moths that are both 2/2s. We're going to kill another one of them here. Maybe. He does not have Metalcraft at the moment. But he can still... Oh, Vault Scourge? We don't care about Vault Scourge. Or Spring Drum. Well, I guess, because now he can Spring with Drum his Ink Moth Nexus to get them both up. Alright, well, we're not going to take 8. Yeah, I don't think this line wins us the game. I don't know that any line did. Fatal Push one of these. Nothing untaps. That does actual nothing. Yeah, that's too bad. Because even if we draw an Ad Nauseam, it doesn't do it. And I mean, we're going to have to draw. Nope, now we just die. I guess we could. Well, we could have pacted that, but then we still don't win. Because now he can just drum it on. Wow. Well, our opponent drew well. Too bad. Yuck. Well, every now and then, Affinity just wrecks you. 3 against Affinity, and that was the old 0-2. Yikes. Actually, this is 33 because we have 2 games left, right? Yes. Yuck. Got stomped. But yeah, those were very, very good draws from Affinity. Oh, thank you for the follow, Lombard31. I don't see him pop up on the screen. I just see it on my phone. One of these days, when I finish school, grad school, I will get a second monitor and like a proper stream setup, and I'll also be able to stream more because I won't be in grad school. It takes up a lot of my time. And Moto moved the screen again. Thanks. Yeah, we'll keep this. Because if this is a Thoughtseize deck, they can only take our redundancy. Nope, Valakut. All right, excellent matchup. Now let's not lose the excellent matchup. We even have a good set of cards for it. Get this on life down, Angel's Grace back up. Oh, and the Adnaz. All right, we need black sources. I wish that was a Serum Visions and not a Sleight of Hand, and I could have had both those cards, but such is life. So this is all going to come down to just how fast our opponent is. Pented Prism would be excellent. Best draw possible. Mystical Teachings is lackluster right now. What am I doing? I was like tapping like we drew the Pented Prism. We will not waste our Spirit Guide. We're going to leave him for tricks. Yeah, I did just tap it. Yeah, I tried to play Godhead Mayday, and it's good against Grixis. I mean, if you resolve it, you can't lose. The problem is it's 5 mana, and it all has to be colored mana, which sometimes like doesn't generally make a huge difference again for us, but you know, your academies and whatnot don't contribute to it, nor do your Simian Spirit Guides because it has to be blue-white. And I just find like against the Thoughtseize decks, they just Thoughtseize it. Like if you top deck it and you slam it and you make all their things 1/1s and whatever, yeah, you do. You just win. Ooh, that's what we wanted. Pented Prism, yes, please. Now we win next turn. We just need to not die here. And then how many of them do you play? If you just play 1 or 2, you know, you have to draw it, but not in your opening hand, and then you have to get to 5 mana before you're dead. So many things have to happen right for that card to be good that I don't know. I don't like it. I am a minimalist when sideboarding. Ooh, Colony Heart. Okay. When sideboarding against Death Shadow, I usually just board in. I think I just board in 4 Leylands. I don't know that I board in anything else. All right, we just win then, right? Yeah. Sorry, opponent. This deck just they can't interact with us fast enough, and they, at least in my experience, stopped playing the Chalices. The versions that play Chalice like stand a chance against us. Oh, thank you for just conceding, opponent, and not making us go through the whole rigmarole. All right, so there's 2 ways to do this. One involves Leyline of Sanctity, which is decent. I mean, it stops Valakut from being able to target us. I mean, they board in Nature's Claims, but if they're Nature claiming this, then they're not Nature's claiming our artifact mana or our unlives. So that's one choice. The other choices like Thoughtseize, Echoing Truth. Silence is not so good against them. Fatal Push is a worthless. Bantu is pretty worthless. Cage is worthless. So it's like either these three or these four. What we board out is Teachings because it's slow, and we just kind of want to race this deck. One, maybe two packs. And then the Nephilia Academy because we don't need it. So we can like double Thoughtseize, Echoing Truth. I think Thoughtseize is better on the play. So we just want to do it. Maybe we'll be weird. We'll go 3 in one of these. We put the Echoing Truth in just in case. If they play Chalice, it's bad. Plus, Echoing Truth does do a few other things, I guess. Bounce like Colony Heart, which is not the worst play. Again, this matchup's pretty favorable, so let's hope it just doesn't even matter. Yeah, we'll keep that. All right. Potential turn 3 kill. If we draw just Angel's Grace. That's the only part missing from a turn 3 kill. And that was not Angel's Grace. But our opponent had a very lackluster start. See, this is where Leyline's terrible, because you didn't draw in your opener, so it's just a total dead card, whereas drawing a Thoughtseize is still a very live card. All right, we're fine with that. Angel's Grace, please. I just want to win on turn 3. I mean, this feels like a waste of a turn 3 kill because we just are so good against this deck, but now watch. The problem with combo decks are you do have to draw the combo. You don't draw the combo, you still lose. Fortunately, we'll even be in a position mana-wise to go Unlife into Ad Nauseam on the same turn. So our opponent's pretty quick. That's annoying. And it flashes back, which is more annoying. Just draw Angel's Grace, please. One time. One single time, Angel's Grace. They might get us. Because next turn he's going to be able to kill our good Lotus. Or no, we're still a minute from that coming down. Forgetting what turn it is. Spoils is pseudo Angel's Grace. So let's see what our opponent does. Does he have the Titan? And then we have to decide if we're going to spoils. Explore. I mean, Angel's Grace in the top 20 cards of our deck. Well, now we don't have to worry about him ancient grudging us. We can at least hit our draw step because he used all his mana. Chandra is not worrisome. We're still going to be left with the choice of what to do here. We get one bloom this turn, one bloom next turn. So let's take our bloom. Angel's Grace, packed. I mean, odds are we're not going to spoil away too many good things, but it's so tight. He's going to Ancient Grudge our bloom on his turn. The problem here is if we exile anything, we're screwed. He has 2 cards. He has 6 mana, and he has this Ancient Grudge to nuke our Lotus Bloom. Now we do get another Lotus Bloom next turn. It's just too risky to go off now. It just is. I mean, I know he's going to blow up our Bloom. We might spoils on his end step. We'll definitely do it if we have to use the Pact. Adds 2 mana. What's he getting at? You just wanted to keep that stuff up? Yeah, here's how this is going to have to go. Pact. I guess is he just Ancient Grudges this Bloom. Did he forget that he has Ancient Grudge in the graveyard? He's not going to blow it up. He's going to let us have it on our turn, because that changes our numbers tremendously. Because I was going to spoils now, but now I'm not. Because now we're going to have access to a lot more mana. I don't know why our opponent let us do that. Axiom, no, it is not. You need to have a You Can't Die card. There are basically no ways to win without either Phyrexian Unlife or Angel's Grace, and those are your 2 Don't Die cards. There are other Don't Die cards that are worse than those that can also allow you to go off. But yeah, you otherwise, I won't say it's impossible, but it is extremely, extremely difficult. Hopefully you'll get to see how we go off right now. So now we spoils for the Angel's Grace. Hopefully we don't just die. That'd be annoying to just die. Maybe he tries an Ancient Grudge now, which is too late. All right, Angel's Grace, please be within the top 18 cards of our library. No. Okay. What'd we lose though? No, we're fine. Cool. So we use our Don't Die effect right here. How many lands do we lose? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we're fine. So now Pact Invocation, pay that or you lose the game. Well, we can't lose the game, so we will not pay. What's our opponent doing? Okay. Made a forest. Did he just remember about his Ancient Grudge? Beast Within? No. We'll just go off at instant speed. This is the best part about Ad Nauseam, is that we can do that. We can win at instant speed, so we didn't ever have to get to our draw step. We just beat our opponent this way. And we have more than enough lands because he has 0 cards in hand, so we will... Oh, I almost always sell back treasure chests, but since it's so few and far between that I get to stream a full league, I will be cracking chests tonight. And after this win, we're guaranteed 1. Did our opponent concede, or is my computer lagging? Conceded. Thank you, opponent. I appreciate not having to go through the motions. All right, we're 3-1, so this is going to be the difference between, what, 1 chest and 8 chests? Let's win. We'd like to win this matchup. We want to play Valakut again. But yeah, Axiom, you can technically win without having... So there's been times, and it usually only happens against decks like Shadow. So if Shadow gets their life total down to, say, 9, and I cast an Ad Nauseam, without having to don't die. And I actually have to follow the rules of the card. You draw a card and you lose life equal to the converted mana cost of the card. If I have, say, my win con, the Lightning Storm in hand, and I draw enough lands that I can kill my opponent because their life total is at 9, I only need a handful of lands, you can actually win that way. And I have won that way. It's so fun. But for all intents and purposes, no, you can't win without a don't die card. This is an interesting hand. Whatever. We've got one half of the combo and the thing that finds the other half. Our opponent is already mulliganed to 6, which we love. Our opponent's 2-0, so they could be on anything. Are we going to face the dreaded Shadow deck? Is that going to ruin the 4-1 dream? Yeah, we do. We actually will take. Well, yeah, we'll take one more Scryland. That's fine. Let's hope our opponent is a blue-white deck. Oh, no. Oh, Amulet. Okay. Probably worse than the Mirror. Actually, we have a great hand for the Mirror. We would have much rather played the Mirror. Amulet. So, yeah, this is how it goes with Amulet. Amulet either beats themselves. Do we want this? How does this help us? Because next turn we get to... No, we don't need that. So the fact that they don't actually have the Amulet is very good for us, unless they have the Amulet. Supreme Verdict was fair in the sideboard. I'm testing Bantu's Last Reckoning right now. There's the Amulet. We're screwed. Probably not winning. I like Bantu because it goes off quicker. E-Haze is good too. It has its... I don't think it should be an E-Haze versus Fatal Push. I think you're going for different things with those cards. E-Haze is to like buy you the turn. Fatal Push is to get rid of like problem creatures like Thalias and... All right, so what's our opponent doing here? Ugh. Yeah, this hand is pretty good for them. Lightning Storm is pretty awful for us. I mean, I guess we just get this down. This was like a, this wasn't great. It was a turn 5 hand. Turn 4 if we top deck the Ad Nauseam, but... No, I've never played the Fling version. It's hilarious. It's just, it's worse for a lot of reasons, but it is hilarious. Yeah, we might, I don't know, so it depends. If we top deck Ad Nauseam, we might still be in this. I'm assuming he's got the Titan. The problem with this is then they also, then they'll bounce the Teleria West and get a Pact and Negation. So, yeah, I think we will die here. Yeah, do your thing. I mean, we're not going to physically die, but all of our outs will die. He gets 2 more lands. Yeah, and so now he'll bounce his Teleria West. And then scry himself find himself a Pact. Or he already has a pact in hand. I don't know. I feel as though we're not winning. That is my thought here. Well, he's just giving us the turn. I don't know. We didn't draw what we needed anyway, so. I guess we just take the sleight of hand. We're not going to win either way. Like, I don't even know what our outs are now. There's the ad nauseam. It's just too late. I mean, maybe our opponent's bad and we win bad. Because he can double strike this guy, right? If we somehow get to untap, then I'm still not even sure we win, but maybe. But I'm going to give my opponent some credit that they're 2-0. They can't be that bad. Does he just have another Titan? Because all of those things, yeah, we just lose. Well, I mean, one of them has to have first strike or double strike. What is Slayer Stronghold? That gives vigilance and haste, so we don't care about that. But he's got that land that gives one of them double strike, and that's what beats us. Or if he gives both of them double strike, because if he does enough, he needs to do at least 11 damage in first strike damage. Or now he's going to transmute his Teleria West for a pact. This is how we lose. No, engineered explosives to kill our thing. That's another way we lose. Because he's going to get 4 lands, so he'll get the colors he needs to EE. EE is worse, though, because if I had Pact, I could Pact his EE and then win next turn. So, I mean, none of it matters. Well, I guess he could still, he's going to have so many lands. Archival Rain, I'll still have the mana next turn because of the Simian Spirit Guide. I'm not going to see it next turn. That's the issue, not the mana. We have the 5 mana. It's just the fact that we're going to die. I do not miss Slaughter Pact. Not much at all. It is... I haven't had any games where I'm like, oh, if only Fatal Push with Slaughter Pact, I would have won. The fact that it can't hit black creatures, no bueno. Yep, this is where we die to the explosives, right? Got us, opponent. I still don't think that was the right way for them to win. There were ways we didn't die there, but okay. This deck is awful. We're gonna go Parathought Seizes. I don't even know if Echoing Truth is good. They don't do that. Fatal Push. It hits the tribe, and then it hits the Azusa if we can lose a permanent. But we have such trouble losing permanents because we don't play any fetch lands. I mean, Mystical is way too slow, so that's a board out for sure. Phyrexian Unlife isn't great. No, I definitely die. Yeah, he EE'd my Unlife. So we're gonna take an Unlife out. And we'll ditch an Ophelia Academy. And we'll take the 2 Thoughtseizes. And now the question is, do we want, what does silence do for us? Nothing. Echoing Truth. I mean, you can bounce their Amulet, but then they just replay it. Like, Amulet's just a 1-cost card. We want to Thoughtseize the Amulet. We'll run with 1 Fatal Push and just see what it does. See how it works. Yeah, silence in response to Pact does delay them. That's actually interesting. Maybe, actually, sometimes that can kill them. Truth in response to bounce land, trigger seems fine. Yeah, we might board differently. Hot garbage. 1 land, and this is such a good hand. I mean, it's a fine hand. It's the best hand. Yeah, we'll take this. We'll lead with the temple. What did I? It was glorious. My opponent, well, he kept his 7, which is bad for us. Well, now we'll lead with Serum Visions, just because I hate scrying into what I already want to keep. We're just going to double suspend. We just got to make it to turn 4. I feel like we make it to turn 4, we probably win. Do we make it to turn 4 is the question. Those are both terrible. First time ever in Modern, huh? Modern is my favorite format because it doesn't rotate. And yeah, turn 1 Amulet. Gonna be hard to win. I don't even know what we want. Obviously an Ad Nauseam at some point, but so we'll Sleight of Hand then Scry. Yuck. This is so bad. I think we're only popping 1 chest, boys and girls. Yeah, Ad Nauseam is a very fun deck. My favorite. Maybe we can benefit by the fact that he can currently only play 1 land per turn. So if we had Fatal Push now, it's a genius play because he gets his Azusa and then we kill it and then he can't play any more lands and he can't pay for his Pact. Oh, we wouldn't be able to hit Azusa with Fatal Push though, unfortunately, because we didn't have any permanent sleeve. Mr. Small Pen, yes. Yeah, silence would have been so good. Well, I mean, we run this out there. Maybe we're not dead next turn. Yeah, the debate of path over push is a big one. I was previously playing path. Maybe it's better. I don't know. Do you want to give this deck lands? Against this deck, I think it's bad either way. All right, are we just dead? He can play 3 lands, so maybe. That we don't care about. And I mean, like, we need to draw Ad Nauseam this turn, too. Or spoils. Rather just draw the Ad Nauseam and not chance it. Yeah, so things path hits lots, like Gurmag Angler and Tasker, Titans. A lot of times, once the Titan's already down, oh, double Amulet. Once the Titan's already down, even if you path it, they still beat you. All right, we're going to get to untap. But they could have Pact Negation as their last card, and they can fully pay for it. So basically, they're trying to draw either a Titan, a Summoner's Pact, or a Teleria West. So they have a lot of outs. We have 8. No, not 8. We have 6. The 2 spoils and the 4 ad nauseas. We found the Angel's Grace. Well, Angel's Grace does make us not die. But still, if they find a Titan, it's all over because they just fill their hands with Pact Negations. Just hope they blank. I would like to get a game 3 against these guys. I mean, our opponent let us get to turn 4 with no disruption. It's our fault we didn't win. I mean, what'd we have? 2 cantrips and a Skyland. We, 9 times out of 10, we probably goldfish the combo that way, but we just hit 3 pieces that we don't need. Yeah, so now he Teleria West for his Summoner's Pact. No, he's not gonna. Kind of surprised about that. Well, we know his 1 card. I don't know why he's giving us this turn. Thanks, opponent. All right. Fingers crossed. We just have to, we have so much mana, we literally have to probably exile both win cons here in order to lose. Spoils of the Vault. That was the next card. Look at that. All right. All right, so what are we doing? Let's say bye-bye to Fatal Push, hello to Silence. Thoughtseize worse on the play, but still I think our best sideboard card. Echoing Truth could go down a Pact. I don't know why our opponent didn't just kill us. Does anybody in chat figure out why they didn't just then play their? Were they worried we had Pact? Maybe, I guess. If I was our opponent, I think I would have gone for it. Because if we have Pact, we're still going to have it the next turn. Yeah, if anybody can figure that out. I think we'll leave it like this. We'll see. We'll run it this way. Pact can do some shenanigans with if they do those early Summoner's Pact. So if we would have had a Pact and a this hand. I don't think they're worried about a Wrath effect because even if they yeah, this hand just doesn't. If we were on the play, Thoughtseize is really good, but it's not fast enough. It's already a mull to 6 because it had a Lightning Storm. This hand's not good either, but it's better than a Rando 5. So that's a good scry top. Yeah, opponent could be sniping, but even the Grace, just play your dude, hit us down, and get Teleria West for more Pact Negations. Like, I don't know. I know their deck probably less than they know their deck. I have not played Amulet. Amulet would be something I would play. I like, you know, totally unfair combo decks. It's kind of my thing. I think my current decks right now, I have Ad Nauseam, I have Stormbuilt, I have I won a lot of play points in these 4-1s and 5-0s. That's good that our opponent didn't. That is like the best start we could have hoped for. Draw Ad Nauseam? Draw Ad Nauseam? Draw Ad Nauseam? No. But yeah, so I wasted 8 million play points trying to make Solemnity a real deck. And I wasn't playing it in Ad Nauseam. I think it's horrible in Ad Nauseam. No one's going to convince me otherwise. But I was playing it in just a black-white Kitchen Finks. I'll show you the deck after this match. And I wasted a lot of play points playing crappy friendly leagues and just getting my face pounded. Yeah, let's fire off the sleight of hand because we can still get that unlife down if we need to. We're just looking for the Ad Naz. Didn't find it. We'll take the Grace because we can Pact Grace if he does something that we really don't like. But now we're literally at find the Ad Nauseam, win the game mode. Yeah, Solemnity is absolutely, if Infect was where it was last year, 4 of. 4 of. No questions asked. All right, here comes our Lotus Bloom. Ad Nauseam, please. What do you got? Ancient Grudge, lame. Can't even counter it because he'll just recast it. All right. That's not, we still are fine if we draw Ad Nauseam, which we don't. Your envision to find Ad Nauseam? No. Too late for the Thoughtseize. We gotta go bottom on this junk. I think we do this, so now we are ready to win if we find Ad Nauseam. We still have Pact. That's fine. Waste your counterspell. We still win if we draw Ad Nauseam. As long as they don't have more Swan Songs. Chamber bounces that. Does he have anything yet? He's going to be naturally able to cast Titan next turn, so we've given our opponent too much time. He has no access to blue mana, and he can't pay for a pack. So if we draw Ad Nauseam, we win. Now we can Pact Grace through our Pact and still have a turn. And you better believe it, we're getting in with the birds. We just have not drawn the Ad Nauseam. That's all we needed. Spoils doesn't do it because we don't have the mana. So our opponent's at 6. We will so Pact this. If he has another one, then we still probably lose. Comical. Absolutely comical. All right. Please just have nothing this turn. Just have nothing. Not another. Okay, that we're okay with. All right, so now it gets tricky. Yeah, I know we can combo now, but we lose to any counterspell. including pact negation, because he can pay for a pact. Now, if we pass the turn, we cannot combo on his turn. Yeah, I agree that stalling gives him more draws, but like he's got 6 cards. If one of them's a counter spell, we lose. If not, we win. But yeah, because even if he taps out for like a Titan, we can't ad nauseam. I think we just have to cross our fingers and hope he doesn't have it. He already wasted 1 Swan Song. I mean, but he's got 6 cards. They got to be something, and they're not Titans. What are they? Yeah, I know I should have kept Thoughtseize at this point, but if we kept the Thoughtseize, oh, no, we'd be fine. We'd probably be winning right now. Yeah, let's just try it. Hope no counters. What say you, opponent? Oh, ho, ho, ho. Whew. I was nervous. I was ready to get swan songed again. He might have a lot of lands, but I don't think that matters. His life total is at 16. And we do get to swing in. Oh, we're going to swing in with the Swan before we kill him. No joke. It doesn't matter. We have, even if he had 6 lands, we have enough lands. All right. We're totally getting in with the bird. Did you concede or am I lagging? He conceded. Boom, got there. All right. Let me update the old list here. 30, maybe 35 and 15. Another 4-1. And Amulet. Titan 3-1. And that was a 2-1. Wonderful. Save that. All right. Now the fun part. Let's crack some chess. I had like some 500 play points before I started trying to furiously. Yeah, I know. I need to use Excel. I know. And I can do it real sweet, but I'm lazy. Now I'll switch that up. But let's do it. What do we got? That is not a good chest. Distemper, Cartouche, and Retaliate. What a bad wrath. All right, next chest. Something good. Grimmy. What's Grim worth these days? We just got this dude. I don't want 2 of this dude. Tooth Collector is a sweet card, just flavor-wise. I like it, but Grimmy's worth a tick or something. Not great. Not worth more than the chest. So 2 bad chests. Then Moto lag. Did it open? Try again. Why are our chests not opening? Come on, this is literally the most fun part. Moto. Why you no open chests? Any ideas, anybody? Why my chests aren't opening? Try again. Yes. You've got to be shitting me. I just want to open the chest. All right. God, there's so many copies of Grim Lavamancer. Like 1 ticket, because it's not. Why is this Grim Lavamancer so expensive? Is that right? Which Grim Lavamancer did we get? Really just want to open these chests. The nice thing about competitive leagues is even if your chests are a total bust, you still made, you put in 120 play points, you got out 180. So, all right. Please let me open the chest. Thank you, Moto, for giving me junk. Parting Thoughts. It's a curated card. I don't know that one. And this is a curated card. Recruiter of the Guard. There's library. Well, I have to look those up. All right, so that one is worth 280. So that's actually more than the chest is worth. So that's good. What was our other one? Parting Thoughts. 2 curated cards in 1 chest. Too bad it wasn't like Black Lotus Port. Parting Thoughts is garbage. Why is this a curated card? It must be from like one of the sets that didn't release on Magic Online. But Recruiter was a very small win, so we'll call it a win. Flying Carpet and jank. I don't think foil 8th edition Flying Carpet is worth all that much. What a bad card. Oh, how Magic has changed. 4 mana for an artifact that you have to pay 2 to give a creature flying until end of turn. What a bad card. Oh, Slaughter Pact. I don't play it anymore, but it is the whatever these things are called, invocation version. That's probably worth less than nothing. Let's see. Barely. barely. Does it? That sucks that you can, like, that's the difference between Moto and paper. You open an invocation and it's not even worth more than the chest. That's fine though. Mistbound Click, that's a real card, right? I don't know what that one's worth. And Junk Lands. I know Vendilion Click is better. Oh, Misbind Click. Yeah, not so great. Still worth less than the chest. So far, no big hits. 15 play points. No, thank you. It's junk. So maybe just one good thing, please. 80 play points. All right, that's good. That makes up for a lot of our jank. So we would have still probably done better off to sell our chest, but that 80 was a nice hit. That's like essentially eight tickets. So all right, there you have it. Yeah, the invocation art was not. I like the Pact and Negation invocations, and they look way worse in Moto than they do in paper. My opinion, at least. Yeah, I think the invocations are very love-hate. Like, people either thought they were really cool, liked them a lot, or just thought they were goofy and stupid. Come on. Wanted to show y'all what it looks like in paper. Got it here somewhere. Ironically, at the time I purchased them, Invocation Pact and Negation foils were, there they are, less expensive, or just about as expensive as the, can you see these? Yeah. Decent. I mean, it's hard to see with this kind of light, but I think they're way better in paper than they are regular. So, all right, I'll show you what I lost all my play points on this bad deck. Maybe somebody in the chat can tell me what would make it less awful. So I watched Goldfish, MTG Goldfish, play his Esper version of Solemnity, and just thought that the Esper mana base was too greedy and that blue didn't really give you a lot of great things. So I dumbed it down to just white-black. And there's some budget concerns because this deck wasn't good enough for me to justify buying some things that are needed. So I did like 3 paths, 3 fatal push. The whole idea of the deck is to stay alive long enough to either get this combo on board, which some decks just can't even beat this. You have this on board, like decks that can't stop this, you just win that way. Or Solemnity plus Geralt's Messenger plus either Viscera Seer or Cartel Aristocrat is infinite damage. Or combo that with Kitchen Finks and it's infinite life. Problem with infinite life is on Moto, people are dicks and they don't concede. And I mean, I guess they're not dicks, it's just, they're just playing their edges. In paper, when you say, okay, I'm at 1 million, you know, it represents a win. But in Moto, not so. People will like make you click through it and you don't have enough time to go to 1 million, obviously. You know, a lot of times you don't even want to go past 100 because it just takes too long. But that's the combo you're hoping to assemble. You get there through Inquisitions and Thoughtseizes to take their best stuff or take the stuff that prevents you from doing that combo. 6 removal spells to just not die. Kitchen Finks gains you some life. And that's it. I mean, my mana base has some budget considerations. It should have 4... Marsh Flats, but I only have 2. So I have 2 Polluted Deltas, 2 Flooded Strands. I do have all 4 Courtyards. I have the Godless Shrines, Shambling Vents, and all that stuff. And then sideboard, basically you have Disenchants to deal with like Rest in Peace, stuff like that, that just makes you very difficult to win. Extirpates should be surgical extractions, but they're very expensive on Moto right now. So again, if this deck was competitive, I would make these upgrades. These upgrades aren't what's keeping the deck from being competitive. So if somebody can make a list that's like competitive, I'll buy into it. Relics are for other decks that use the graveyard, because basically we don't care if the graveyard blows up unless we're comboing out. So us using our own relic is fine, but like cards like Rest in Peace, we can't do because just beats our own combo. Stony Silence for Affinity, an extra path, Oblivion Ring because I didn't have anything else, a couple of Wraths, and the Pithy Needles are for Tron because Tron can beat your combo main deck. So you Pithy Needle, you know, what do you do when they Karn? You got a Pithy Needle. Other choice would be Fulminator Mages, but again, expensive on Moto, so nothing I'm going to buy into until the list does something. So yeah, that was Ad Nauseam in Modern with a 4-1. Maybe let's play this jank deck once in the in just the queues because we won those 80 play points. See the old Modern queue. We'll wait for somebody else to join. Yeah, you're right. Let's I think I have Anguish on Making. We can make that trade. That's a good trade. Second path, O-ring for Yep, I have 2 of those. Try it. All right, let's play this jank against Jay Meyer here. All right, we'll play first. And we got a Bob. Sure, why not? We'll keep this. You just turn one to Sarah Seer. Maybe they'll accidentally use removal against Seer, and then our Bob will stick. Bob essentially just eats removal that my my other cards don't have to eat. Is this Valakut? We actually probably have a decent matchup against Valakut. Of all the decks, Unlife is good. Here we are actually fine to just fetch out a Swamp. The problem with like using 3 colors in your mana base for blue is that you need double white for Kitchen Finks and triple black for Geralt's Messenger, so I think playing blue is bad. And at least if they like bolt the Bob, we can get a scry off of it. This deck, main deck, cannot beat the Lock, or the Solemnity plus Phyrexian Unlife. Well, we're going to get to keep Bob. That's just excellent. Solemnity? No, land is fine to not take a hit. All right, not what we wanted. But we'll play the Unlife, keeps us alive a little longer. And then if we draw the Solemnity, we just win. So here, I guess we just take another Swamp. I mean, our life total is below 18, so I think that's the magic number against this deck. But, I mean, we have colored sources here if we have to have them. Let's just drop that and hope we luck into a Solemnity. This deck has a lot of bad matchups. Valakut might be our only good matchup. So our opponent got Wood Elves. It stops the Bob beatdown. Not that it matters. I don't think we were getting there with actual damage. All right, Solemnity off the top. Come on. Nope. Inquisition. Inquisition's probably pretty bad, but we'll do it. It's not doing anything in our hand. All right, we'll know what we're up against. So he will get the Titan out next turn, but that doesn't kill us. So we'll just do that. We'll shamble. We'll play another Viscera. And we'll see what he does with his Valakut triggers. I bet he'll just try and wipe our board, but that will at least give us 3 scries to try and hit a Solemnity, which I am pretty sure, unless he's playing Emrakul. If he's playing Emrakul, then he actually can beat us. How many mountains he has? No, so actually this will be okay. He can't hit our guy. Because he can either take, he can get 1 trigger if he goes Mountain Valakut. He just went Valakut, so he gets no triggers. All right, so we sack Viscera to itself for the scry, bottom. And do we sack the second Seer to itself and then get the Bob card? I guess, because we're just trying to hit Solemnity. No other card besides Solemnity makes us not die, so we don't sack the, well, I guess we could sack the Bob too, it's the same thing. Because Bob draws us an extra card or we scry an extra card. No, I think we do it this way. We'll just sack the Seer. Bottom. All right, one of the next 2 cards has to be Solemnity. Solemnity, Aristocrat, and Path. Ooh, Path does stuff. So we do that. This isn't actually going to be great though. When I don't think we die, but do we path them now or on their turn? I don't think it matters. I think that's inconsequential. We'll play the. Actually, don't play the Aristocrat because it can just get hit by the. He's still going to get. He'll get 2 Valakut triggers off of this, and then another 2 off of whatever land he plays. I imagine if he's smart, one of them will be pointed at Bob. No. All right. Maybe he's thinking he'll bob his way to victory. Now, what he draws here is relevant because right now we know he's got 4 lands. If he draws a card that lets him play an additional land, then that's even more Valakut triggers. Yep. So he'll. He really should still point one of these at Bob, and he's not going to. Because he's not going to kill us. And maybe he's thinking our own Bob will help to kill us, but it really won't because Bob is loss of life, right? Yep. So he'll get us to negatives. But then we still get 2 draws. Oh. How did he get escape shift? We knew his hand, I thought. Missed it. Oh, I don't know. I don't know where I missed that. That he still had. Well, that kills us. There were two. He had two draw steps, so he drew two good cards. Viserys here, Thoughtseizes, Cartel. Yeah, see, we were nowhere near Solemnity anyways. That's the problem with this deck. There's no... there should be... You have to have a good way to, like, tutor your combo. Alright, I assume they play, like, Relic. So might need this Disenchant. Inquisition isn't actually great. The Thoughtseize is much better. Fatal Push is garbage. We'll get rid of all those. We actually might put some Inquisitions back in. Anguished Unmaking hits the Titan, but once the Titan's down, the Titan's done. You know, you saw we pathed it, and it didn't make that much of a difference. Yeah, I think we'll actually go back on these Inquisitions. They're not worthless. I mean, they can take their ramping spells. I don't think Wrath is good. Stony Silence is nothing. Extirpate. If we had a way to get a Valakut into the graveyard, Extirpate would be good, but we don't. I guess Pithing Needle's better than nothing. Better than we can put it on his dude, Sakura Tribe Elder. Yeah, Tenebrae. Zur is, I think the mana base is too greedy. When you have cards that are triple black and double white, and you want a 3-color mana base, I don't know. I think that's greedy. Same thing. We have like half of our combo. Now our combo is much different game 2 because he has like Nature's Claim and stuff. One possible card is, it's like Dimir Schemings or something like that. It's Transmute, but it requires 3 mana. It's kind of slow. It's not the worst though. But yeah, this deck is not good. I wanted it to be good so bad, but it's not. Like you see that, like I said, this is probably one of our best matchups, and we just still could do nothing. Double Path, pretty awful. I mean, we'll get a Finks down. Yay! Just too slow. We could path a Sakura Tribe Elder. Yeah. What do we draw? Aristocrat doesn't really, makes us a Solemnity away from doing cool stuff. Solemnity? No. We can't even play our messenger. See, even in 2 colors, we're still having trouble casting our stuff. So what's better here? Probably leave up Path rather than... Now we'll throw down our combo piece. Aristocrat does nothing. He'll do the block sack. Oh, this is just Dry Bomber. This is just a a single queue. You missed the ad nauseam matchups. You can replay it, but and I'll put it up on YouTube tonight. But we went 4-1 in a competitive league, and then I'm playing this jank deck in a 2-man queue because it's funny. Probably just play the one matchup too, because the deck is bad. Maybe he'll waste like a Nature's Claim on this Unlife when we have a redundant copy. Give us more life. I don't know what our opponent is in the tank about. I mean, I guess he might not know what our complete game plan is, but I think at this point he's seen enough cards that it should be fairly obvious. He did not have the Titan, and we don't directly die to Scape Shift because we're at 22 life and have an Unlife out. We really could just draw Solemnity. That'd be fantastic. But we got this Shambling Vent instead. Well, we can cast our Messenger next turn, and we can cast this Aristocrat now. And this does mean that if we get Solemnity on the board, we have infinite life. But again, like I said, infinite life on Moto doesn't mean what it means on paper. Yeah, Dry Bomber, there were some decent matchups. Played Control, we played Amulet, we played Affinity, Valakut, and the Mono Blue Taking Turns deck. So 4 out of 5 of them, 3 out of 5 of them are tier decks. Amulet's cool, but it just watch what happened in our game 3 against Amulet, and you'll see why it's not a great deck. Now there's the prime time. We at least get to path it, but we saw how that worked last time. He just Scape Shifts and ends us. Two Valakut, so no trigger. Oh, there's the triggers. Going after our Aristocrat and our Sphinx. Well, he's going to kill our Sphinx anyways. I guess this isn't a red card, so protection doesn't do anything. We'll still... Yeah, this land is colorless. They want you to think it's red. I don't think that'll do anything. This won't make a difference, so we'll do it anyways. But I'm pretty sure that this changes nothing. You'll see that Amulet sometimes just loses to itself, and that's why it's bad. It's not bad, it's inconsistent because it does lose to itself. Yeah, I don't think Pro Red is helping me here. I think I'm still dying. I know this doesn't. It doesn't hit my Sphinx, but I think that still dies, right? Yeah. Thought so. Well, do that. Draw Solemnity off the top one time, please. He gets 2 more triggers. Can't stop it. Yep, got my Sphinx. Killing the Sphinx now doesn't matter. I can't combo with it once it's got a counter on it, so it's no good anyways. Yeah, we really want to draw Solemnity. Perfect. What do we do? Do we play Messenger? Not really, because then he just kills it. We're not close enough to beating him. Shambling time. Oh, this deck is so bad. This was probably stupid. We probably wanted to keep another path up, but no, not really. If he gets another Titan, he gets a third Valakut and then just beats us. Escape Shift beats us for sure. So he needs to have like actual nothing, or we just lose. Maybe someone will break Solemnity. Will not be me. Titan, we don't scoop. Escape Shift, we scoop. Huh? Yeah. Can't beat it. I love how they still give you 5 points for losing. Thanks. How far off were we from the old Solemnity? Nowhere even close. All right, so yeah, there's a combo deck that's much worse than Ad Nauseam. All right, everybody, I am done for the night. So got the 4-1, happy about that. I'll pop this on YouTube if anybody didn't catch all of it and wants to, or you can. I'm sure you can replay it on Twitch. I don't know a lot about Twitch, but I know enough to do what's necessary to get a stream out. But beyond that, that's it. Anybody who subscribed, thank you very much. Follow along. Can't guarantee when I'll get to stream again, but check my YouTube. It's MTG Ad Nauseam. Sometimes when I can't stream and I do a league, I'll do like a replay and I'll do commentary over it. So if you're just trying to learn the deck, that's probably just as good. And it's actually a lot quicker. You can do a whole league in I think 45, 50 minutes. So, but yeah, it's MTG Ad Nauseam is the YouTube, and I'll put this league up there now. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you later.